Like what you put out there, what you put into the cosmic soup comes back to you. And so with the law of attraction, it's who you are being at a core level that will attract those right frequencies. And so if you're being deeply compassionate to other people to the detriment of yourself, then what can happen is, like it attracts more of that. So it's super, super important for you to be very, very careful that your compassionate nature, your generosity of spirit is that it's compassionate, but never to the detriment of your own generosity of spirit. And so maybe you kind of grew up in a household like I did, where being generous was something that was normal. However, it was you being generous and the other people reaping the rewards of your generosity. So, does that feel true for you? If you have a huge generosity of spirit, that's great. That's probably what you're here to be and do. And so, we're not going to correct that. We're not going to correct that, but we are going to be careful to notice what seeds we're planting in our garden. Are we planting the seeds of generosity of spirit for self? It's like when you make mistakes, are you generous with yourself? Are you like, well, that was a great flop? And I think that that's one of the things that, because I don't really take anything seriously, I'm like just flying across the sky. Super, super important. I don't take much seriously. And I really recommend that you don't, because when you start to make things matter, then you start to become making them dense. And so the more dense we make things, the more we make things matter, the more serious we make things, the more we can't change them. So they become dense. It's like walking through quicksand, or being stuck in the muck, or trying to walk through really heavy snow. But when we get high, we get high on the frequency of love, high on the frequency of just life and fun, then what can happen is we can start to change those things. And so it was very deliberate that I use the word roadkill, because I want to talk about the places and spaces where you have thrown yourself under the bus. Like, does that feel true for you? Have you thrown yourself under the bus with, relationships that you've had with family members, relationships that you've had at work, relationships that you've had with clients, where you just wanted to be appreciated, you wanted to be loved, you wanted to, invite them to a different possibility, and they just couldn't accept it from you. And maybe you made that wrong about yourself, which is you throwing you under the consciousness bus.